Well, hello again, everybody. Round 9 is upon us here in the 2025 Formula One World Championship. Of course, this is round number 9. 7 more Grand Prix to go. We are here at Imola for the second race of 2. Well, actually, this is the second race. We raced, at Monza last week, which was Kimi Antonelli's first of 2 home Grand Prix. So this is his second. Of course, Max Verstappen won this race in 2021, 2022, and 2024. We didn't race here in 2023 because of the red flags and, flood warnings. But here's a look now at the track map. We have 19 turns, 63 laps, 12 left-hand turns, and 9 right-hand turns. Like I said, 19 laps, 304 kilometers an hour, kilometers an hour, and 34.4 meters at Imola. And here's a look now at some of the action zone. This was in 2021. Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton jumping and bumping over the Tamburello curves, which, cost him the race win. And this was Sergio Perez sliding off the racetrack. And, of course, sliding into the gravel. Had a little bit of body work under damage. It was Hamilton as well in 2021. And speaking of Lewis Hamilton, this was in turn 7 when of course he slid off the racetrack and into the wall. Of course, he was able to maintain that championship lead by 1 point over Max Verstappen that year. Here's a look now at the tires. Don't worry about those dry tires. We will not be using those today because it is damp, raining, downpouring here at Imola. So we'll be using those blue wet weather tires here at Imola. But now here's the look at the starting grid. At the back, it is going to be Esteban Ocon and Alex Albon. So the Haas and the Williams sharing that back road. But here's a big shock. Kimi Antonelli in his second home race this season is out in a Mercedes. Hamilton is out for Ferrari for the first time this season, and in 16th is Lando Norris out for McLaren. So of course they continue to struggle, but most importantly, they're out with Nico Hülkenberg, who is in 15th. Carlos Sainz lines up in 14th with Gabriel Bortoleto, and of course we have Jack Doohan making his final race for the Alpine team before Franco Colapinto returns next race in China, with Fernando Alonso sharing that row with him. Then it's Lance Stroll and Ollie Behrman, the top 10 of the Aston Martin and the Haas. Yuki Tsunoda qualifying P8, his worst qualifying performance ever since he joined the Red Bull a couple of races ago, with Isaac Hadjar, who lines up P6 or P7. Then it's Liam Lawson in P6 with Pierre Gasly in P5. Charles Leclerc, the championship leader, lines up P4 in his Ferrari, with Oscar Piastri 3rd in the McLaren. And then here's a front row lockout. George Russell and Max Verstappen. How many times have we seen these two collide? Verstappen on pole, George Russell right alongside him. And the Drivers' Championship, Charles Leclerc leads by 11, Tsunoda back by 40, Ferrari with an 87-point lead, and Mercedes back by 116. Jesse, here's a look now at the battle for P5.
Yeah, Joe, so the battle for P5 between Racing Bulls, Haas, Aston, Alpine, Sauber, and Williams is getting tight, but here we go.
The battle for P5 is getting intense as Racing Bulls hold it. But now, time to get the EMILIA-ROMAGNA Grand Prix on the way. It is a lights out and away we go. And Verstappen with an extra start. And Charles Leclerc dropping back down to P5, P6, down to P7. Charles Leclerc P6, and down to P7. And Charles Leclerc, nightmare of a start here at Imola, who won last time out, is now struggling in these kind of damp conditions. But it's Verstappen that leads from Russell. And then P3. Unbelievable. Whoa. What has happened to the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc? Just did not get the launch that he needed. As now he is down to P8. Jack Doohan is P9 now. Hadjar is 10th. But now we've figured out who's 3rd. Oscar Piastri is 4th. Or 3rd. 4th is going to go to Liam Lawson. And then a P5 is going to go to Pierre Gasly. P6 another, then 7th Alonso. And the championship leader runs 8th. Gasly 9th. And now goes to P8. So Charles Leclerc drops down to 9th position. Oh, he sideways hangs onto it. But unbelievable. Charles Leclerc dropped now out of the points. Down to P15. And now 16. Unbelievable. The world champion, and more importantly, the world championship leader, is now out of the points.
That is a nightmare of a start for Charles Leclerc. Oh, and the safety car is now out. And we believe there is some debris somewhere on the circuit. But more importantly, I think it's because of this torrential rain that is now falling, Joseph. I mean, this is incredible.
This is incredible. I mean, I have never seen it this badly here at Imola. We've only seen, like slight rain here. But like I talked about during, the little build-up and before the lights out, I talked about how we didn't race here in 2023 because of the heavy flood warnings and, of course, the red flag. So we didn't race here in 2023, but Max Verstappen has won here 3 times, 21, 22, and, of course, last year. While Lewis Hamilton's only won here 1 time, which was back in 2020, which gave Mercedes their 7th Constructors' Championship. And, of course, Fernando Alonso's won here a couple of times. But it's Charles Leclerc now who is running in P18 after his huge mistake on the first lap of the race. So now you're running with Max Verstappen, then it's George Russell, Oscar Piastri, and then it's Pierre Gasly, and then Liam Lawson. Oh, and that's Charles Leclerc sideways and around. Leclerc spun around, and he's going to be stuck in the gravel. Charles Leclerc is out of the EMILIA-ROMAGNA Grand Prix. And look at the Drivers' Championship. Hamilton far back. Yuki Tsunoda, Max Verstappen have now come into the title picture. Unbelievable. As now Red Bull 60 points back, Mercedes 97 back. And George Russell wins this race ahead of Verstappen, Tsunoda, Piastri, Jack Doohan, Liam Lawson with his impressive result gains or helps Racing Bulls extend their advantage over the rest of the last 9 or the rest of the 5 cars. Hamilton fights back to finish in 7th. Then Stroll, Norris, and Carlos Sainz your top 10. So Sainz picking up points for Williams. But how about this? Kimi Antonelli has retired from his home Grand Prix after some sort of a crash or a DNF of an injury. But now your Drivers' Championship, it is close between Leclerc, Hamilton, and here are new 2 title pictures. Yuki Tsunoda and Max Verstappen. Antonelli runs 5th, then Piastri and George Russell. While in the Constructors, Ferrari still hold a 60-point lead over Red Bull and a 97-point lead over Mercedes. And that concludes today's Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. We'll see you for round 10 of 16 in Shanghai for the Chinese Grand Prix with now 6 more races to go. We'll see you in China.